Yeah. Yo, we back. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, you going back with some more boxing. Hey, is the stream okay? Why does stream look crazy? Hey, you two be hating, bro. Why does stream look so rusty? Bro, on my side, it looks super blurry. I don't know why. I got the fastest internet my cable provider provides. They got my looking like the Blair Witch Project. Hey, YouTube be hating for real, though. My boss sent me here for a long wait. Good. Y'all need to wait. I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king. Bro, I'm the king of boxing. Now it looked like it cleared up. I don't know what that was about, but we good now. Yo, come in, smash the like button. We gonna talk about it. Canelo got cooked. He got cooked. Smoking on top 5. Smoking on that guy. Bro, he got cooked. He was... Bud smoked him like a pack of Bud. Canelo was hopeless. They say I'm hopeless. Yo, we got our first $5 super chat from Mark. 76 Mark towards the goal. Listen, I run a tight ship. Likes or loot. I'm y'all on the clock. I am one person. I'm trying to get all the content out for you. Likes or loot. Let's work. We got to make the streams make sense. I don't mind doing them. I enjoy doing them. But they got to make sense. Let's work. If y'all ain't trying to work, then get out of here, bro. I'm here for the cookage. I'm about to cook. Shout out to my boy Sir. Absolutely. And make sure, listen. When people go out of their way to support the stream, such as 76 Mark and all the great Eagles Army that do it, y'all throw a like on his super chat too. This ish ain't free. Ego, I DM you to see if you agree with what I said about Canelo should do next. Can you check your DM? I want to see if you agree. I get a lot of y'all think. Listen, I didn't want to have to do this, but y'all made me. On Instagram, which I'm assuming you're talking about, you DM me on Instagram. For the month, this month, I have 80 million views. 80. Y'all think I just be living, like, I got a life outside of boxing, bro. I just did 80 million views on Instagram. I get thousands of DMs throughout the week. I can't check everybody's DM and respond back to everybody. I'm putting pay-per-view numbers up, bro. Look. Bro, look. Oh, y'all can't see that. Bro, I promise. I'm doing Netflix numbers dolo, no team. Y'all gotta give me some grace. Shout out to Troy Hutch. And look, these other small fries, they worried about YouTube. I do a million plus on every platform I'm on. That's what y'all don't understand. Facebook. Bro, I get paid off Facebook too. You see, y'all, come on, bro. Tell them to catch up. I'm Boxingego. Listen, I am Rumpelstiltskin. Everything I touch turns to gold. Shout out to great fans. My hard work and the great fans. Bro, I don't be lying, dog. Yeah, I can't show y'all the numbers. Hold on. I mean, I can't show y'all everything, but I'll give y'all a little preview. You feel me? You feel me? Smash the like button. Bro, there's no one like me. There's nobody, they ain't built somebody like me. Y'all can hate all y'all want. They can't beat me, can't be duplicated. I'll read your question in 1 second. I got to flex on them. I got the Midas touch. Shout out to Kenya B. Yeah. Kenya, I'm a stun on them real quick. Just to let y'all know, because y'all be acting like y'all forgot who the king of boxing talk is. All right? All right? Hold on. I got a stun on them real quick. Hold on. We'll get back to the show. Yeah, we'll get back to the show in a second. Hold on. Bro, I told you I don't be lying, dog. That's just my Facebook. That ain't even the Instagram 80 million. We did 10 million. Come on, bro. And y'all think y'all gonna troll me? I had a strong month. Our month been strong. That's 10 million on Facebook alone, let alone my YouTube. We just started a second YouTube. I got the Instagram. We got the Twitter. Come on. Stop playing with it. So shout out to y'all rocking with me hardcore. we doing Netflix numbers to the face. They can't beat me. They can't beat me, bro. And you ashy fools all in the comments, oh, ego mad. Bro, why would I be mad? I had a great month. We about to eat. I'm about to eat steak. We about to eat steak. Y'all made a mistake. Slow it down. I just dissed you. I said, I'm about to eat steak. Y'all made a mistake. Made a mistake. Made a mistake. That's a bar. Hold on. We got Nico Bars contributing another 5. That's number 2 towards the goal. Listen, this is what extends and we get more streams this way. Nico Bars, $5. Much love. Talk about how Crawford ducked Boots and Benavidez. Talk about how he don't defend them belts when he become undisputed at 47, 54, and now 168. Man, I'm not even going to talk bad about Crawford. He did his thing, bro. I told y'all. Some of what you said, I understand, but I'm going to give Bud his props. Because if I start talking about other stuff, y'all say I'm hating anyway. So I'm just going to let him have his moment. He did his thing versus Canelo. He put the pause on Canelo. He solidified and etched his name in the fight with Canelo. So I'm going to let him have his moment. Boots, listen, my thing with Boots, y'all know for a fact I wanted to see Bud versus Boots. But the moves Bud made obviously paid off for his career. And we're still waiting for Boots to make big moves that show us how good he is. So at this point, I understand Boots is younger than Bud, but Boots he gotta catch up. He gotta catch up at this point. He gotta catch up. It is what it is. And I was one of the main people that want to see Bud versus Boots. But at this point, Crawford, my thing is this. I don't change nothing I said about Crawford. Nothing I said, because I didn't lie when I said it, right? About that whole run with Top Rank and bad business. You made some bad choices. But he's a late bloomer. He's starting to receive some of the types of fights right now, late in his career, to try to make up for it. You know what I mean? Like Errol, Madrimov, and then Canelo. That, for a little 3-fight run, 3 years in a row, that's good. And that, like, for real, it proves what I was saying was true. Bud's last 3 years AKA he fights one time a year. His last 3 fights have been better than majority of his top ranked career. Tell me I'm lying. Listen, I told you I keep it so real. Tell me I'm lying that Bud's last 3 fights garnered him more fans than he's ever had. Or not even just fans, like more respect. Beating Arrow and beating Canelo alone is pretty much better than 10 years of top rank fights you was fighting. Ain't nobody was looking at Ricky Burns and Ricky Bobby and Ronnie Bobby, Ricky and Mike and all them dudes you was fighting with top rank. So I don't change what I said in that regard. And the thing is this, I ain't never said Bud can't fight. You ain't never, ever heard me say Bud suck, Bud's a bum, Bud can't fight. I ain't never said that. I know for a fact I ain't never said that. I never believed it, so why would I say it? You know what I mean? So people can say whatever they want, but everything I said was true. It's just Bud late. He's a late bloomer with Turkey backing him. He's starting to get, well, PBC initially, but now Turkey, he's starting to get some of the looks that he couldn't get for whatever, well, we know the reason early on. That's all. Hold on. This dude said he wanted me to answer his question, so I'm going to try to respect that. Dominic Martin, what do you think about Canelo 2-fight deal? I think he should retire. What y'all talking about? He fights Benavidez in the Bivol rematch to close out his career. I think him and Benavidez will do decent numbers in Saudi. What do you think? Bro, shout out to you for the question. Benavidez been break his foot off in Canelo ass. It is over for your boy Canelo. All the Cinnabons. Chupapi Muñeños. Do you understand me loud and clear? Top level Canelo looks done. I don't think I could be any more clear. He's done. Top level, elite level, meaning like 1 to number 3 in either division. I'm not picking Canelo. If he fights the number 1, 2, or 3 person at 168, especially at 175, he's cooked. Y'all better go watch Canelo Angulo, El Perro. you better watch them old tapes because his prime is done. It's over. He up out of here, bro. That's what I believe. So you're saying Benavidez and Bivol. Okay. Canelo looked worse than we've seen him in a while. He looked, bro, he not even cinnamon no more. He said he's cinnamon toast crunch. Yeah, that's what he is. Bro, y'all call him cinnamon. Masura said he toast, so I'm going to call him cinnamon toast crunch. It's over, bro. I'm not a big Canelo fan. I'm not a cinnamon bun. No, I'm just saying to the cinnamon buns out there. Bro, Canelo cinnamon toast crunch right now. Hey, I ain't gonna front. I mess with the cereal. Shout out to Troy. He know what it is. I mess with cinnamon toast crunch. I don't really eat cereal, but every so often I'll get a craving for a cinnamon toast crunch, and I'll go cop some. I don't drink milk though. I use like a milk substitute, like almond milk. Alicio, what up? Bro, Canelo cooked out here. Canelo is some more out here. Put him over the campfire. Yo, Ego, you saw a Pugmire article about Tank Shakur on PBC? I did. Shout out to PBC. Shout out to Al Heyman. Y'all was hoping Al Heyman ain't here and ain't got the look. Now he about to get that fight. Turkey needed to do that, bro. Bro, I'm not even being funny. Turkey, I can't tell him how to spend his money, the money he's working with or whatever, but the first entity you should have even been doing boxing with was PBC. These UK dudes, what do they do for you, bro? like Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. They cannot make you popping in my country, bro. I run boxing out here. They're good for like, you know what I mean? Anthony Joshua, meet with me, it's mod. You know what I mean? Like that, but they can't make him, they ain't made no superstars. So you should have been working with him, like putting the money behind them. PBC. That's what it is, bro. I gotta think about Shakur and T.O. more because that has it's not off rip. It's not like my favorite. Like, oh man, this is killer. I mean, I'm not mad at the fight. I guess I'm not mad, but I feel like that has a potential to be like lackluster potentially. But it could fights like that are either really good or really bad. Two kind of counter punchers, two guys don't want to like lose. You know, it could be good, it could be very good, or it could be very bad. You never really know. The rest of the world is late recognizing Bud's greatness. Bro, you Bud buddies keep coming out the woodwork like you created Bud. You are not God. You are not Moses. T-Mac, I'm talking to you. Bro, y'all acting like y'all mama Crawford, like you brought this man into the world. Everybody, you're tripping. Everybody knew Bud was a great fighter. Name one person that said Bud was trash and he trash can. Name like who said that? He ain't a late bloomer. Oh my gosh. Yes, he is. So you want to see him keep fighting Ricky Burns? Come on, bro. He a late bloomer. I'm not talking about in terms of skills. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not talking about in skills. I'm saying he a late bloomer to get big fights. He didn't get no big fights prior to Errol Spence. If I'm lying, name a big fight that he got that's bigger than Errol, Madrimov, and Canelo. So that's why I'm saying he's a late bloomer. That's 3 fights. You tell me any other period of Bud's career where he had 2, let alone 3 fights that were bigger fights than and more like respect given in back-to-back fights than those fights. You can't do it. So stop it. It's always these contrarian dudes that want to prove me wrong. You can't prove me wrong because you don't know what you're talking about. Jeff Horn. Bro, Jeff Horn ain't the Errol was the consensus best welterweight outside of Bud Crawford himself. Ain't nobody looked at Jeff Horn as like he was a top dog. I don't even think he beat Pacquiao, so I know that wasn't the case. Y'all be lying, cuz. Top Rank wasn't promoting him right. I told y'all, bro. Top Rank, this is what it is. You take it for what it's worth. They are very good at grooming young fighters to a certain level. But once you're ready to boil over and peak to superstardom, they don't really know how to keep that flowing and like get you to all the way boil over. Floyd had to leave. Oscar, I do believe he had to leave. Cotto had to leave. Chavez, Andy Ruiz, Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia fought bigger fights outside of Top Rank than when he was there. Top Rank, he was fighting Salido and Juan Burgos, Carlos Burgos, and all that. He got with PBC. He fought Lipinets, Errol, right? Broner. Come on, bro. So Top Rank, and then you amplify it when it's a nigga. If Top Rank is working with a nigga, then the growth is even more stifled. When it's nigga. Do you hear me? If it is a black fighter, AKA a nigga. Because half of their staff will see a ninja and overlook his ability and give Tyson Fury a tug job and Lomachenko and stuff like that. And they don't seem like they had Mark Kriegel on this Crawford Canelo card or whatever, right? But you was with ESPN when they had Terence Crawford. How you saying like Bud's great now and like, oh my gosh, and now you're amazed, but he's been on your network well before and he's been a beast. You know what I mean? But they weren't rolling out the red carpet for Bud. Listen, I respect Bud Crawford. He's a generational great, and he came up out the mud. He has been denied and defied, and nobody really nobody rolled out the red carpet for him. I don't believe a lot of stuff he said about like PBC. It was their obligation to give him fight. I don't believe in none of that. But he still come from a rough place. You know what I mean? Omar come from the hood, and he put the work in. And he got the skills, and he worked on his skills and improved. So I respect that. I've been saying he's better than Floyd for 15 years. Bro, we don't know who you are. And to be honest, he's not better than Floyd. I mean, I don't even want to pit them. Floyd ducked it. Hey, get this dude out of here, bro. He said Floyd ducked Crawford now. What? Hey, block T-Mac. I'm so done, bro. See, people like T-Mac, they can't let something good just be good. He fought Berto because he chicken. Yeah, you doing too much. You're out of here. Get him out of here. See, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Bud buddies. The radical ones. I don't care if you like Crawford. I'm talking about this type of junk. First of all, Bud had ample opportunities to diss Floyd, beating Canelo, and he didn't. And then in come you, some dude on the internet who nobody knows, nobody probably ever will know, and you're coming in here trying to instigate and turn two black fighters against each other when they're both great. Let them both just be great. Two people could be great. It's not that serious. Roy Jones got people saying that. Roy's not better than Floyd, for real. And Roy's my favorite. He was one of my favorite fighters. He's not better. Like, Floyd never got bodied. Like, you know what I mean? Roy called out Floyd, so why would I take anything he's saying about Floyd seriously if we know you don't like him and we know you like Crawford? Come on, bro. And like, see, this is what I'm saying. Since the fight, I've given Crawford all his credit. But some of the fans, they don't want it to be that, and then they start bringing up other stuff, and then that's when I got to jump in. You know what I mean? Bud did his thing with Canelo, but if we're really being real, since y'all must compare to Floyd, Floyd didn't even get hit by Canelo. So for me, that's a better performance. Like, based on that, they said, I don't agree with this, but they said Bud needed the 11th and 12th round. Floyd didn't need the 11th and 12th round. So, I mean, they're two different fights, two different nights, two different. Floyd fought an undefeated Canelo. Y'all can make all the excuses you want. He was young. So, what you're saying sounds stupid. Floyd is the GOAT. And like, Crawford or his team probably watched Floyd Canelo for a blueprint. So you can't really trump that if you study somebody else's blueprint. You know what I mean? Like, Floyd didn't watch Crawford and Canelo to get ideas on how to beat Canelo. When Canelo was undefeated, it was Floyd that beat him. You see what I'm saying? So Floyd is the architect in the blueprint, and you got Max Kellerman and all these goofs like trying to diss him. It don't work like that, bro. Floyd is the blueprint. When nobody beat Canelo, it was Floyd. He's the architect for how to do it. So credit to Bud, credit to Bevel, credit to Triple G and Lotta, who I also thought beat Canelo. But Floyd's the blueprint. So, yeah, for me, it ain't no topping that. And you look at guys like Bevel, Triple G, Lotta, and Crawford, who I all think beat Canelo, by the way. They were all bigger than Canelo, for real. You know what I mean? Taller, bigger, stuff like that. Floyd, out of everybody, is the only person that was actually small and didn't rehydrate that much and beat him. So Floyd, I don't care what none of you, Shakur or whoever, I don't care what none of y'all say, Floyd is the architect because Floyd beat a much bigger Canelo, didn't have to be bigger. I'm not disrespecting Bud. I told you, as far as I'm concerned, on my side, the beef is over. Whatever, you're a great fighter. However, Bud had to bulk up for the better part of a year, and he did. People were saying, man, he looked big as Canelo. He looked bigger than Canelo, right? Floyd didn't do that. Floyd didn't like match mass with mass versus Canelo. You know what I mean? Look, bro, the Bud Buddies act like Coward Nello wasn't already washed. I mean, that's a whole. I'm still giving, but we all know that. I mean, for real, we already know that. I said that before the fight. Y'all know that. I said that Canelo. I mean, anybody who watched the William Scope fight said, "Hey, who is this guy?" Like Canelo, and even the Munguia and Berlanga fights and stuff like that. Me and others were like, old Canelo probably would have stopped Munguia, stopped Edgar Berlanga. You know, he would have looked better versus William Skull. So that's the reality of it. And I said that before the fight even happened. So don't say, oh, you're hating now. I've been said the videos are still up. So we already know Canelo really wasn't in his prime. I still give Bud a lot of props because there was another mountain of things outside of Canelo's age and like him being washed. There was still a lot against Bud. And he overcame that. So that's why I'm still giving him props. Because he still moved up 2-3 weight classes and was an underdog and all this type of stuff. But nobody is going to, in their right mind, going to be like, Canelo was primed out. Like, come on, bro. But it was a great performance. And we move on. Listen, I'm the voice of reason. I love watching Bud fight. He's a great fighter. But some people are taking, this is why I don't like boxing. Like, I mean, I love boxing, but this is the part I don't like about boxing. Some of you guys are taking what we've seen and turning it into like the outer limits, Twilight Zone. That's the part of boxing I don't really like. Like, I'm seeing people say he'll whoop Bevo, he'll whoop Better Biev, he'll whoop Benavidez, he can beat Morrell. You know what I mean? There's conversations now saying like Bud beats Prime Triple G. Like, come on, bro. He didn't fight none of those people. And none of those people, in my opinion and my expertise, none of those people have looked as faded as Canelo Alvarez. So we got to still be real here. You know, and I'm not saying like he's crafty. Maybe he can beat some of, but like to act like it's a foregone conclusion, like come on, bro. Like Benavidez is what 30 years old, but he don't look like Canelo look versus Skull in any fight or John Ryder. So that's a totally different fight for Bud. Totally different fight. Totally different fight. Benavidez is like 6'2". Totally different fight, bro. Boo Boo Andrade would have packed Canelo up. See why he ducked him for undisputed. I like Bud, but promise you he wants no part of the Mexican monster. I mean, like I said, Bud excited the boxing game, so it created. He said Benavidez is like 6'4", even worse. It excited the boxing game, but some of you guys are like devoid of reality now. Like beating Canelo is beating Canelo at this point. Let's just leave it at that. That don't mean much bigger, much fresher guys is going to be that type of fight. To be honest, if Bud fought Diego Pacheco or Hamza Shiraz, I think those would be harder fights than the Canelo fight because they're tall, big, young, and going to throw some punches back. That's not a fight prediction. I'm just saying it would be tougher than what Canelo looked dumb, bro. Canelo looked flat-footed and throwing one punch at a time and no jab. You had no jab. There's no way you're going to beat a Bud Crawford with those three ingredients. For real, for real. One punch at a time. I'm going to keep it a buck, Ego. You would have packed up now. Y'all tripping, bro. Yeah. Yeah. That Canelo looked. And remember, oh my gosh, bro. Remember I was telling you I didn't like Canelo golfing and he didn't seem like he was all the way in boxing? Like, here's the thing. I'm not taking away credit, but I think Canelo locked in trying to beat Crawford because it was finally someone good, very skilled, but smaller. So he didn't want to lose. I don't believe Canelo. I think he locked in. But this is what Canelo gets for years holding the belts hostage and not fighting the proper fights. So when it came time for a really good fighter, you're almost not ready because you've been so far removed from this style of fight and competition that Bud ended up cooking you in the latter rounds. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you fought Benavidez and beat him and didn't get too much damage, then you would be ready for a grueling fight with Crawford. But you were golfing and fighting guys, a lot of them recently, John Ryder, Avni Children or whatever, guys that they're not complex enough. Munguia, Berlanga. Like Berlanga to this day really ain't beat nobody. And you were handpicking, cherry picking those people. And then you try to cherry pick Crawford because he's smaller. So that was the angle. Even though we know he's skilled, the fact that he's smaller was the cherry pick. And then Bud had other plans and tore you up. But Canelo did this to himself because you ain't really been top level for a minute, for real. And you were hiding behind your belts and you were hiding behind your fan base and like soft competition. So you kept having successful nights and all that. And then your crowd like, Canelo, Canelo, Canelo. You know what I mean? And they was hype about it. And then Bud, he a real fight for anybody. He just a real fight and a real fighter. So you not that Munguia effort, Berlanga effort, John Wright, that none of that, William Skull, none of that's good enough. And you were fighting a league below for a while, and that's why you got cooked. Like, if you put Allen Iverson in his prime versus eighth graders, he gonna cook them. There's no one in the eighth grade that's gonna deal with prime AI. But you put him against Kobe, okay, now that's a battle. You know what I mean? That's a battle. You put him with prime Kobe, Rajon Rondo in the Celtics. Like, now we talking some real battles. That's how boxing works. AI, if you put him with a level, he's clearly going to destroy that level. But then if you put him with other Tracy McGrady and, you know, Steph Curry or whoever, other capable people, that's when you really get to see. Canelo ain't really been fighting. To me, before Bud, it's been a minute since he fought someone that I thought was capable. I always thought Bud was capable in terms of skill set. The only question me and other people had was if he would respond adversely to getting hit with a big shot. That was literally the only question, and I said it from the beginning. I said, this fight will depend on Bud's moving up if he can take a punch. He is more dynamic. He is more skilled. So, therefore, if he could take a punch, which he showed he did, he took your best shots, then he was going to win. So, Canelo, bro, get Canelo out of here, bro. I'm happy Bud won. That's why it's funny to see these bums in the comments. Oh, ego, ha. Bro, I'm glad he won. Good for Bud. Yeah, first of all, Bud's black. Bud's an American. Why wouldn't I be happy? He American like me. We both American. But two, Canelo been hiding behind the celebrity. So I told you from the beginning. You got people like, oh, Ego, you're being fake. How are you doing this? Why are you doing? I told you all from the beginning, I don't give a who wins this fight. I don't even like the fight. Canelo Crawford made a best man win. So I'm not being fake. I told you I didn't care about who was going to win in terms of like, I'm not standing in the way. I got a horse in the race. Whoever's going to win is going to win. I'm going to talk about it, period. But upon thinking about it, Canelo, what good was he doing for boxing? Not the Cinnabons, because they get horny every time they show his red head. The Canelo. Bro, they like just seeing him without a shirt or something. I don't care about none of that. I care about the boxing. Bro, Canelo fans, some of y'all kind of zesty, bro. Y'all was getting too hyped for no reason. Canelo mess around, fight a poodle, and you'll justify it. Oh, yeah, the poodle had it coming. Canelo pick a baby out the crowd and fight him, and you'll be like, yeah, Canelo. Bro, so I don't care. I don't owe nothing to Canelo. I don't owe nothing to nobody but me and my family. So I definitely don't owe nothing to Canelo when you're not doing right by the sport. I've been told you he should have fought Benavidez. Before that, I told you he should have fought Jamal Charlo. Before that, I told you he should have fought Demetrius Andrade. Before that, I told you he should have rematched Edeslandi Lara. He ain't do none of that. Before I told you I want to see him fight Better Biev because he was fake calling out Better Biev. Bro, Better Biev would knock the applesauce out of Canelo, bro. I've been told y'all that. Kamal Oz, I don't know where he's at, but he was telling you too. Bro, Canelo did not want smoke. He wanted like Like, let's say it's alcohol, right? Some people drink, like they drinking hardcore, whatever, right? 211, Four Loco. They drinking something with some alcohol concentration. Canelo's boxing career, he was sipping on Smirnoffs. Yeah, he was slipping on Mike's Hard Lemonade. That's his career. Smirnoffs and Mike's Hard Lemonade, not vodka, not Patron and tequila. He was on Mike's Hard Lemonade and Smirnoffs. I'm drunk as heck. I can relate. See, bro, Canelo was picking. Okay, if boxing was a liquor store and the refrigerator had all the different drinks, and then they had a shelf with all the liquor. You see the hardcore, the crazy tequilas. You see Wild Turkey. You see the vodka. You see all the real Everclear. Canelo, he was like, no, no, not really. No, really. No. And he'll reach in that fridge and get that Smirnoff. He don't want the Jägermeister. He want that Smirnoff. He want that whatever the weakest stuff is. Zima. Y'all remember that? Hold on. Maybe I'm too old for that. Y'all remember Zima? Ain't that what it was called? Hold on. Bro, my memory is clutch, bro. I'm really the greatest that's ever lived, bro. This with Canelo. This with you was drinking Zima. Canelo. Canelo was sipping on Zima, while David Benavidez was drinking that tequila. He was drinking that real drink. He was Andrade, Anthony Durrell, Caleb Plant. Canelo. He was on Zimas, and then he at the party, bro. I remember people like that. We'd be at the party, and we was drinking real. We was drinking the real stuff. I don't drink no more, but we was drinking like the real stuff, shots and all types of stuff. And then it'd be a BZ, she off the Zima, and she acting like she more drunk than us. This party is rad. Bro, how you that drunk off Zima? And we've been throwing back shots. Shot. And you on that Zima. And that Zima ain't do nothing. That's like water, and that ain't nothing but water and palm olive. You off them Zimas. That's Canelo's career recently. Drinking Zima. While everybody else got they throats burning from whatever they drank. Patron. And Canelo tucked off he at the party. Oh yeah. Canelo he at the party. Bro, he at the party with a Smirnoff Ice. Not even a regular Smirnoff. I'm talking about the Smirnoff Ice. Bro, this Canelo. You hear me? Canelo got a bottle of Smirnoff Ice. He had to he trying to act like he the most drunk with the Smirnoff. With the little Smirnoff. I was born ready. Viva Mexico, cabrones! Like, bro, no. And his fans would buy it. But at the end of the day, that's still Smirnoff Ice. You ain't drunk, cuz. That's Smirnoff. So, yeah, I'm glad Crawford whooped him. To be honest, get them belts. Crawford finna have them belts in the hood. Crawford a hood dude. Bro, Crawford finna be in the lowrider in Omaha with them belts. In Crawford hood. He didn't turn Hollywood. So Crawford finna be in the hood doing donuts with them belts from whooping Canelo. He finna be at the Omaha parade. Bro, he finna be in the Omaha parade with a vest on and them belts from whooping Canelo. listening to Bobby Brown. I can't sleep at night. I toss and turn. Listen on the telephone. I can't believe you got my call. Bro, that boy finna be he finna be listening to Bell Biv DeVoe with them belts from Canelo. That girl is poison. Poison. Canelo looking crunchy, crying. Bro, Bud took your belts, gave them back, and then high-fived your daughter on dead homies. Bro, that got to be the most embarrassing sequence. He whooped you, gave you the belts back, which is normal because you get your own personalized belts in the mail. But he whooped you, gave the belts back, and then high-fived your daughter. Bro, Bud a fool. But a fool. The powers that be knew the cash cow Nella was done, so they jumped ship. Yeah. Canelo looked cooked. Bro, and to be honest, Canelo's I've been told y'all, Canelo is surviving off of his previous resume. Like he's at he was at the like top of the hill, king of the hill type thing. He was king of the hill, and he was surviving off of like, I'm Canelo. I've been a big star. I came in an era where they had HBO and worked with the Showtimes, and I had a big, good brand with loyal fans. So he's surviving off of that. You dig? He was surviving off of that, meaning like he does have a great resume because he's fought 65 times, 66 or whatever. Right? So he does have a good resume, but he spaces it out. So if you really think about it, much of what we give Canelo real praise for, that was in the first part of his career. Tell me I'm lying. Not before Crawford, I'm talking about. If you look at all the fights that you really credit Canelo for in his resume for, that happened in the beginning to mid of his career. Not the end chapter, not the later part. Austin Trout, Shane Mosley, Floyd Money Mayweather, right? Cotto, Triple G 1 and 2, right? All the real big fights for real, that the reason why we say Canelo got a great resume, that a lot of them are old. Floyd, you fought Floyd in 2013. 2013. That was like iPhone 1. That was probably the iPhone 1 was probably out. We on the iPhone 17 now, cuz. That was some time ago, bro. They had 1G. They had 1G network and the iPhone 1 probably out in 2013. They didn't have Instagram Live. They didn't have no Instagram and all that. Like, bro, that's how long ago it was. Floyd was probably promoting Shots. Remember that app, Shots? Check out my app. I got an app, hard work, dedication. I got an app called Shots. Me and Justin Bieber, we on Shots. Bro, Floyd was promoting Shots. How long has it been since you heard Shots? I forgot about that until I just said it right now. So a lot of the Shane Mosley happened before that. So Shane Mosley was before 2013. Trout and Floyd was in 2013. Lada and Angulo was in the next year, 2014. Right? Cotto was a couple years after that, probably like 2015, 16. So you're for real, you've been surviving off of them fights and your fan base. So I'm happy Bud won. Because Bud, he's at a later part of his career, he'll either fight or retire, and then that'll spread the belts out. And there's no one as big as Canelo now in that division to the point where the belts will remain hostage for like 4 or 5 years. Like Canelo was so big where the networks kissed his butt and then the sanctioning bodies weren't going to go against him. So I've been telling y'all this. This is nothing new. He failed a drug test and then Didn't even have to pay a fine. All that money he was making, he didn't have to pay no fine. There's a lot broker fighters who failed drug tests. They had to pay a fine. They didn't even tax Canelo for the clenbuterol, right? And then on top of that, like I'm saying, you've been holding the belts hostage, picking and choosing. You'll fight a mandatory when it's convenient. When you're mandatory somebody good, I've been said the same thing, bro. When you're mandatory is somebody we want to see you fight, Benavidez, Jermall Charlo, you don't fight him. Andrade, you don't fight him. When your mandatory is average Pilgrim, then I got to fight my mandatory. It's the oldest trick in the book, bro. Oldest trick in the book. You got a busted ass mandatory, and then now you got to fight him. Rules are rules. I got to fight this Pilgrim. But then when your mandatory was like Jermall Charlo in his prime at 160, and he's like, yeah, keep running your mouth, Lions only, doing real well for himself, and it would have been a big fight, then you don't fight him. So, yeah, I've been over Canelo's wicked ways, if you will, of like doing whatever, like power tripping people. That's what he was doing. Canelo's like one big power trip. Like, I got the power, I earned my spot, so I'm going to do whatever I want. And sanctioning bodies ran with it. The fans ran with it. Crawford put an end to it. David Benavidez has been the mandatory for 6 years. He didn't want to smoke. That's what I'm saying. Like, David Benavidez had to move to 75 because Canelo didn't want to fight him. And he's like, man, I'm not going to just waste my time here. I can't get the fight. Bro, the thing that showed me Benavidez real, he fought David Morrell. David Morrell, unless you real, that's not a fight you take when he took it. Because it's all risk with lower reward. If Benavidez loses to a newcomer with 10, 11 fights, that's very good, then his career is cooked. Canelo would never do that at this stage of his career, like in the last 12 years of his career. He not giving no David Morrell no look. So, yeah, I'm glad because I think boxing can grow from this. You know what I mean? Boxing doesn't grow when you have the great Gestapo and somebody who's like playing keep away with the belt. How does boxing survive or grow from that? You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's not a good thing. It like stagnates boxing. So, yeah, Crawford winning is good. Canelo said, I sent you more about Demetrius Andrade exposing Canelo. I mean, me and Kamal been told y'all. We been trying to get Canelo to... Kamal, how long have we been trying to get Canelo to fight Andrade? And Canelo, because he was popular, he tried to laugh him out the room. Andrade put, like, bro, I hate boxing. Some of y'all weak. Because what I'm saying is all true and y'all allow for this to happen. Bro, I'm going to tell you why I hate boxing. He said since 2016. Okay, then. Okay, this is why I hate boxing fans. This is why I hate boxing fans. They are fake, most of them. A lot of them. They are super fake. I don't jive well with fakeness, fake people, right? Here, let me give you an example. I make these videos for 18 plus years. I'm calling out Canelo left and right and other fighters, but well, in this case, Canelo. I'm like, why won't he fight Charlo? Why won't he fight Andrade? And then when Crawford moves up, smaller guy, fights as a southpaw, and whoops him, now finally people are like, man, Andrade probably would have been a tough fight. And now people are coming out the woodwork saying Andrade probably could beat him or maybe would beat him because Canelo always struggles with slick fighter. But for literally at least since 2016, probably longer than that, I've been pushing for the fight. And then these same people, they're like, no, you're tripping. Nobody wants to see that. Andrade will get torched. Now people, after seeing what Crawford did, now they got confidence that, okay, others might be able to beat Canelo too. That's one. For how many years have I been putting Canelo's foot to the fire on this David Benavidez thing? I'm playing clips from Floyd Mayweather and Winky Wright, all these legendary fighters saying they want Canelo to fight Benavidez. I told you I want to see Canelo fight Benavidez. I didn't want to see the Crawford fight like that. Right? Canelo does not do what's right for boxing, and then he don't fight Benavidez. Now, these same fans, after years of me telling them that he don't really want it with Benavidez, now guess what they're saying? Man, Canelo ducked Benavidez. The game is too fake, bro. The game is too fake. I've been telling y'all the same thing for years, and they said I was lying and hating on Canelo. Now he get exposed by Bud, and now they saying what I've been saying 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. It's so annoying. And then it gets worse. If you want to hear how it gets worse, type "tell me" in the comment section. I'm going to tell you how fake the Canelo fans are now. If you want me to make it get worse, type "tell me" in the comment section. And I'll explain to you how horrible the Canelo fans are. Just type the word "tell me." I got the screenshots too. Now Crawford, a black fighter, whooped a Mexican fighter. Canelo, right? All fact. Black fighter, whooped a Mexican fighter. Crawford beat Canelo. Now you got these racist Canelo fans in David Benavidez's comment section telling him to fight Bud. Ain't that about a bit? Bro, ain't that about a bit? The same people, the same racist fans that try to prevent Benavidez from getting a Canelo fight and they made fun of Benavidez. They said, you ain't beat nobody. You're not ready. Canelo will destroy you, blah, blah, blah. Now the same racists are in Benavidez's comment section right now trying to sick Benavidez on Crawford, saying, man, Canelo lost. You gotta beat him. David, you gotta beat him. Huh? Y'all was the same ones that on Canelo's side saying you didn't want Benavidez to get the fight. Now he got bullied. The man got bullied by a smaller fighter, and you want David Benavidez to avenge it. You see how fake the game is? Your boy got cooked, so now they want Benavidez to try to avenge Canelo losing. But the funny part about that is Benavidez was trying to fight Canelo himself, and the same fans didn't want Benavidez to get the opportunity. They didn't care Yildirim and Calum and Liam and all these other dudes got an opportunity. They didn't want Benavidez, and now they in his comment section acting like they've been campaigning for him to do well. Bro, the game is fake. The game is fake. I already told you what Bud should do. If he want to fight Benavidez, have at it. But I don't think that's a good fight for him. I don't, because I don't think Benavidez, his brother already lost to you, so he looking to avenge. It's a completely different fight than the Canelo fight. And that's no shade to Bud. But prove me wrong. Because I don't know. And the other thing, I don't want Benavidez to come down to 68. He's been at 75. He got a belt up there. I don't want to see that. Because if somehow Bud beats him, then it's going to be like, oh, he was drained at the weight. So if they not fighting at 175, I don't really want to see it. Crawford, he should retire or take like a novelty fight. You got a couple guys calling you out. Nate Diaz calling you out to Poirier, take one of those fights. Or if he wants to move down to, if you want real fights, like move down to 160. 160. You can stay at 68 if you want, but who are you going to fight? Hamza Shiraz, Diego Pacheco, and Billy, those are cool fights, but they're not big fights. Or move to 160, Janabek, Lada, and who else is at 160? Adamas. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Bud has options. He can do what he want, but that's what I would do. Because you already, 3X undisputed. You already did the accolade thing. Get you a big fight. Run it up. Run the numbers up. Yeah, I don't want to see Benavidez come to 68. I don't know what Turkey talking about. I don't want to see that. Because he ain't been fighting at 68. Why go back down for Bud? Undisputed, yeah, but Benavidez looked too big, to be honest. So I don't know what he would look like at the weight. If he probably had trouble making weight towards the tail end of him being at 68, how you gonna make it comfortably now? You know what I mean? I like Bud, but heck to the nah, stay away from the Mexican monster. I mean, if they blow it up and make it big enough, I guess do it. But I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't know. And I fully respect Bud's skill, but I don't feel Benavidez is worn out like I did Canelo. You know what I mean? I don't think it's just a different fight, bro. Canelo like eye level with Bud. Bud definitely is not eye level with Benavidez. I want to see Crawford fight without snack crap enhancement. But Eddie Reynoso whole stable done popped. So what are you talking about? You talking about snack, but talk about Eddie Reynoso. Come on, bro. You look like a fanboy. The first thing you come in talking about Victor Conti and snack as if Canelo ain't with Eddie Reynoso, who had a lot of people in or around the gym that done popped. So come on, bro. Keep it even, Steven, if you want. Is Turkey still bragging about overpaying Canelo? Bro, that is one of the worst investments. I don't care how much money the Saudis have. To me, that's a bad investment. You had to pay him 50 million or better probably to fight William Skull, and then triple that to fight Crawford, and then you lose. That's not good business. I don't even understand the point of that. For real, for real. That's like me spending 80,000 on a car and it break down. Like, bro, do you know what type of whip you could get for 80K? Like, if you have 80K to put it into a whip, that's like putting 80K into a car and like rebuilding the engine and like trying to get it up to date, and then it break down and all that money went to no good because it still don't work. That's the equivalent. You could have bought a really nice car, brand new, for the 80K, but you try to fix up this beat up Pinto and dumped 80K into it, and then it break down on the side of the road and it don't pass smog. That's Canelo. Canelo ain't passing the smog. He can't pass smog, but you didn't put 80K into him. You didn't put 150 million into a car that can't pass smog. Bro, that's a bad investment. Imagine, let's say 150K instead of 150 mil. You spend 150 mil on a car, 150K on a car that's not worth 150K, mind you, and it can't pass smog, so you can't drive it legally, and it break down. That's Canelo. He can't pass his smog check. He polluting it. And that's what he's been doing, polluting the boxing airwaves. Hector says, don't care, but at the end of the day, fishy stuff happened. Bro, the Canelo fans is, y'all, something wrong with y'all, bro. If Canelo knocked out Bud, then nobody would say nothing. Nobody would say nothing. But because Bud pieced up Canelo, then now it's all this extra stuff. And he didn't pop dirty. Like, bro, at best, you could be suspicious or whatever, but you would have to wait for someone that he never failed a drug test. So you what are you gonna do? You just go, oh, he did it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. What can you do? All you can do is speculate and accuse with no proof. You know what I mean? So you have to wait for something to happen for for you to be like, you saying aha, but you have no evidence. So now the Canelo lost, it has no belt. Are they going to try to sell us a pay-per-view? That's a good angle. I'm not sure, Jose. On the other hand, what other big fight is there for Bud at 68? We back to square one. And that's the bad side of it. There's good and bad. Bud freed the belts. Bud is like Abraham Lincoln. They abolishing slavery. Bud abolished the belts out of Massa Canelo hands. So that's good. But the whole fight, I told you, this is why I didn't like the fight. Because I can't get any greater, people. I'm just going to say it. I can't get any better at my job. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. This is why I did not like the fight. Hear me out. That's why I did not like the fight. I don't change anything. It was a great performance by Bud Crawford. Kudos. I ain't said nothing negative about the man. Great. But this is why I don't like it. Bud fights one time a year for the last 5 years. That is a fact. Now, he's entitled to have some breathing room. So he got to kick it with his family. I think he has another kid on the way or got a newborn, right? So we don't know what's going to happen with them belts for probably 8 months to a year, right? If history repeats itself. We don't really know what his next move is. So the belts are free, but then they're not all the way free because he had a tough fight, tough camp. Who knows if he's going to be active or come back this year? Probably not. So that's the downside of it. And then the other downside is the Saudis bankrolled all this Canelo stuff. They got him for 4 fights. You got the man cooked in the second fight. I don't care about Canelo anymore like that. I don't need to see him fight anymore. He's done a lot. He probably should retire for real, for real. Like, I'm going to ask the fans, do you want to see Canelo's next fight? Yes or no? I'm going to leave it to the fans. Shout out to Jose P on the $10. Do you want to see Canelo's next fight after that Crawford performance? Like, you're just chomping at the bit to see Canelo versus anybody. Okay, no, no. Okay, then. Because I feel the same way. I don't need to see him anymore. You're not the best fighter anymore. They moved you to the last spot on the pound-for-pound list. You really should be off of it. Put Gervonta or somebody else who's not on it. Canelo's not the best fighter anymore. Your fans can't carry you anymore. Depending on who. It don't matter who. Okay, I don't want it. Okay, you're saying depending on who. But it don't matter who. Because it's going to be a cherry pick or a cupcake because he's coming off a loss. So it's going to be a lackluster type of name, which won't be a big event for boxing. Or you give him someone too difficult, and then they might cook him and pick up where Bud left off. So that's what I'm saying. Bro, Turkey came in, he got what he got, and now it's like the division kind of cooked. Because Bud, he probably going on vacation, and we don't know what's happening when he'll fight again. And then Canelo, you think Canelo coming back If you got 150 mil and you already fought twice this year, you think he's coming back a third time this year? Absolutely not. Absolutely. So it's like now, okay, it happened, 41 million or whatever Netflix views. Now what? That's why I don't like stuff like this. Because that's why I didn't like the fight. Versus, hold on, Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. The reason why I love that fight, Devin is 26. I don't know his age. What, 26, 27? Brian Norman, 24. The winner of that, they can do something. They could take 8 months off and then be right back with a decision. Like, it's on and popping. They're young. You know what I mean? They're sub 30 years old, so it's cracking. But when you got two aging fighters, Canelo, Crawford, pushing 40. Now, Canelo's a little bit younger, but in boxing terms, he's an old 35. I'm not going to go, I've already explained this. Crawford is, calendar years, Crawford is older than Canelo. Boxing years, Canelo is older than Crawford. Trust me on this one. And I said that before Bud whooped him. Ring score to fight, a draw, corporate media, corrupt corporate media. Shout out to Kamal Oz. Absolutely. Ain't no motherfucking draw. Bro, Canelo need to draw a jab. He need to get a pencil and draw a jab so he know what that looked like. It's like, okay, you can have two cars. Like, actually, this is a true story. Somebody can have a car, let's say it's a 2016 Honda Civic, right? But it's some old people that don't really drive, and they just kept it in their garage and then kept it with gas, kept it running, and their son used it when he was in town. So they got a 2016 whip that's primarily been in the garage or in the carport and just got maintenance on it, oil change and whatever. Versus you can have a newer car, but if you run it into the ground and then it got like 200,000 miles in the first year, it's a newer car, but it got more mileage on them and more wear and tear. The tread on the tires, blah, blah, blah. You put more, you drove up and down from the Bay to LA. You feel me? That's a 6-hour drive. Bay to LA. Yee! You know what I mean? If you keep pushing back and forth to the Bay, you putting a lot of, you got to go up the Grapevine. Y'all don't know about the Grapevine, bro. I'm real Bay Area. I'm real NorCal. You got to go up the Grapevine, bro. Cars be breaking down up there. So, again, Crawford is older in calendar years, but he's preserved because his resume is not as good as Canelo's. And he fought one time a year for 5 years, takes care of his body, and nobody beat the out of him in none of his fights. He's had decided wins. He don't have like too many fights where it's like, oh, did Crawford win that one? Versus Canelo, fighting since he was 15. He was fighting grown men, probably 15, fighting 18, 19-year-olds, getting his pushed in. So it's different. Canelo got more mileage on him. I need y'all to get the likes up. Big up Ego Army, smash the like button. You know I did. Canelo looks silly in the fight, bro. I told you, if Canelo loses to Crawford, it is the worst. That's the worst outcome. If you lose to Benavidez, we'll be like, he's big, he's strong. We knew there's a chance he could whoop your ass. You lost to a smaller man. That's like a pit bull losing to a Chihuahua. You wouldn't expect the smaller dog to get off on the pit bull. But if the Chihuahua had mad heart like Crawford and the Chihuahua just beat the pit bull, then you like, damn, man, that Taco Bell Chihuahua wasn't playing games. Bro, ain't no small dog supposed to whoop no big dog. You let a Chihuahua from Taco Bell, yo quiero Taco Bell. You let that Chihuahua come up to your division and bark on the pit bull. Bro, Chihuahuas are mean. Yeah, Crawford did Chihuahua then because he was mean upside Crawford Canelo head. Canelo, a player, he got his wife and his side piece with kids. Hey, come on, bro. Bro. And the other thing is, Bud don't drink and smoke and all that. Canelo, we know Canelo at some point recently, he liked to get down. Canelo grabbed the mic. Oh, let's fucking party. Bro, Canelo got on the mic, AB'd out. He was like Broner. He got on the mic sloppy drunk. That was embarrassing. Let's party. Bro, sit down. You're supposed to be a pro boxer. Bro, Bud probably punched a Heineken about Canelo. Punched some tequila. Do. Tequila. Bro, he probably punched that. You can't fight Bud and be drinking and all that, bro. Bud gonna punch the Seagram's gin about you. That's why Canelo, bro, Canelo was making some of the dumbest faces. Let's talk about that. Canelo, if Bud didn't take your belts, you need to be stripped of all your belts for the faces that Bud had you making. Bro, Bud be like, yap. Canelo's like, bro, cause you, I don't even have to do Canelo like this, but I gotta do him like this, bro. You had it looking like Bud was like One Punch Man because Bud was like yap, and he hit you, and you said, and then you try to act like you rolled it, and then you rolled to the other direction, and that just looked so stupid to me. Bud said, yeah, knocked your, and Canelo was like, damn. Then he tried to act like he rolled the punch, like we didn't just watch you get clocked by this Omaha brick. He went like this. He started doing Michael Jackson choreography. Tell me what has become of my life. Tell me one victim. Bro, get Canelo out the sport for just because he looked like that. All I want to say is that Bud don't really care about us. Skinhead, dead, and everybody gone back. Situate, allocate. Bro, he said, on the news, I don't know what to say is that. Bro, he punched you sideways, and then your brain or equilibrium was off. You try to act like you rolled it and said, she be coming around the mountain where she goes. She be coming around the mountain. She be coming. Bro, Bud had you switched up. They said Bud is ambidextrous, but he punched you both sides. Bud hit you so hard, it turned Canelo ambidextrous because he said, bro, I ain't never seen somebody get hit with an ambidextrous punch and turn him from an orthodox to a southpaw. That be, she be coming around the mountain. Where she go? Bro, get him out of here. Canelo looked shook, like he hitting. Oh, you boxing. That was probably one of my favorite parts of that fight. When he punched you and you swished from side to side like mouthwash on dead homies. I ain't never seen that. Bud working on some new stuff in the gym. Shout out to Bud. That man.
The roach from Men in Black.
Bro, do y'all see that? Hold on.
I made him look like Edgar the Roach from Men in Black.
Bro, the video said he looked like Edgar the Roach from Men in Black. Remember he came in, his skin was all... The man... Bro, he punched you into a Men in Black character. Bud is dangerous, bro. Water. Bro, remember he came back in the house? She was like, what was that noise, Edgar? Water. Give me sugar. Sugar in water. Bro, he punched you into sugar water from Men in Black. Do you hear me? You gotta feel me, bro. He said sugar. Remember his mouth was all swished up? Sugar. Water. Sugar in water. I want sugar water. More. Bro, he hit you with the sugar water punch. Oh my God. Bro, you went out bad. I don't care what y'all talking about.
Nigga, ain't shit to me, nigga. Shit to me, what's up, nigga? Nigga, swing again. Yeah, shit hurt, don't it? Come on. Let's swing. Nope, don't look at me. I told you not to come here.
Do you understand the memes are unlimited? I don't know if y'all can see that. Y'all seen that? Y'all want me to put it on the big screen? Yes or no? Bro, Bud, a different animal. It's over. Y'all want it on the big screen? I'll put it on the big screen if y'all want me to put it on the big screen. Do y'all want me to put it on the big screen? I'll put it on the big screen. Bro, Canelo got cooked. I don't care what y'all talking about. Bro, look. There go Nello. These memes. Hey, follow me on the... You gotta follow me on the Instagram, man. Bro, tell me that don't look like Nello. Bud putting that jab up in him. Put that jab up on him. Bro, that look the same energy. What y'all talking about? That's the same photo, cuz. Hold on.
Nigga, ain't shit to me, nigga. Shit to me, what's up, nigga? Nigga, swing again. Yeah, shit hurt, don't it? Come on. Let's swing.
Nope, don't look at me. I told you not to come out here in the first place. Now look.
What's up, you Yeah, nigga, that shit hurt, don't it? What's up? Come on, swing again. Swing again, nigga, come on. Yeah, nigga, that ain't shit to me. What's up, nigga? Yeah, that shit hurt, don't it? That shit hurt, don't it? Yeah, keep swinging. No, keep fighting, nigga, what's up? Keep talking that shit, nigga, what's up? Come on. Nigga, that ain't shit to me, nigga. Shit.
Bro, why he just eat the punch? Bro, Bud is too thugged out for that. Bro, this meme is out of... It said Canelo when he thought he had the advantage because he was bigger, but Bud is built different.
What's up, nigga? Nigga, swing again. Yeah, shit hurt, don't it? Come on. Let's swing.
Nope, don't look at me. I told you not to come out here in the first place. Now look.
What's up, you Yeah, nigga, that shit hurt, don't it? What's up? Come on, swing again. Swing again, nigga. Come on. Yeah, nigga, that ain't shit to me. What's up, nigga? Yeah, that shit hurt, don't it?
Bro, come on, bro. It's over. I don't see how Canelo bounce back from it, bro. The memes is outrageous. You got Bud, Floyd, and Bevo, and Baby Nello. Bro, y'all see Baby Nello right there? Bro, there ain't no coming back from this. Bud, he made his point. And then y'all got mad on the at this one. I didn't make this. This is AI.
Oh, Canelo is down for the first time in his career. Oh my goodness. And here come the ICE agents to take him back to Mexico. This is insane, folks.
Bro, they making ICE agent. It's over, bro. They made an AI ICE taking Canelo away after he got knocked out meme. This AI is that's crazy, bro. Bro, and it low-key look kind of real. Watch.
Oh, Canelo is down for the first time in his career. Oh my goodness. And here come the ICE agents to take him back to Mexico.
Bro, they tripping. Like, what does Canelo do? How he come back from this, bro? Please let me know. I told you don't want to get cooked by a smaller man. Bud cooked cinnamon up like a Cinnabon. Put the boy in the oven and toasted him, then served him on a platter. Bro, he did him like Red Lobster with them Cheddar Bay biscuits. He put a little cinnamon on that. Hey, Kamal Oz is out of pocket. No comment, Kamal. Hey, Kamal, you got to get on IG. If Bud vacates for 160, they could give Canelo his belts back. Could give us garbage fights at 68. Yeah, but, I mean, why would they give him his belts back, though? I don't even get it. Like, so you get whooped for your belts, and then why would you get your belt back, though? You had to fight for it at least. You know what I mean? You had to fight for them belts. You don't just get it back because Bud moved down. Yeah, he not getting his belt just because he moved down. I don't know. I don't know where Canelo go. Y'all can say whatever. Canelo looked like the kid from Mad TV. I'm done, bro. Y'all tripping in his comments. Nah, Bud did his thug thizzle. He definitely did that. Yeah, I really don't know where Canelo could go from here, bro. Because it's either gonna be a piss poor like cupcake kind of fight where no one's gonna even want to see it, or it's something that's dangerous. But then after you just lost to a smaller welterweight, you gonna fight Hamza Shiraz? I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. To be honest, Hamza Shiraz might stop Canelo, bro. I'm not even being funny. Bro, he's 6'4" or whatever, 6'3", rangy and boxes with power, and gave his body a break. This is what happens. Boxing is cruel. This is what happens to fighters late in their career. I've told you, we've already went over this, bro. There's 3 types of fighters. Do y'all really want to have this conversation? Yes or no? I'll tell you the 3 types of fighters. Y'all want to have the conversation? Yes or no? I'll break boxing down to primarily three styles and 3 types of fighters. Yes or no? I'm going to let the fans vote. All right. In boxing, everybody that you've ever seen in boxing primarily falls into one of these 3 categories. Listen up. I'm a break a boxing gym down for y'all. Once again, no matter whatever year, boxing is primarily broken into 3 style of fighters. Brawlers, guys who are like come forward, aggressive. A lot of times they're known for chin, power, endurance, and durable, come forward, like plotting type of fighters, right? So everybody knows the brawler. Number 2, athletic guys. Guys that are not necessarily super technical, but they are very athletic. And athleticism helps and enables them to get their wins and their victories throughout their career. So the brawler and plotter, come forward kind of guys. Athletic guys, guys who rely on athleticism to captivate their wins. And then finally, the third category in boxing, technical guys. Guys that know how to jab, overall skills, fundamentals, astute. You went to the school of boxing. You trained with Nacho Beristain, and you trained with Floyd and Roger Mayweather. You train with legendary trainers or whoever. You studied legendary fighters, Floyd and Purnell, James Toney, and you're a student of the game type of fighter. The third category I named, the astute student of the game, sweet scientist fighter, has the longest shelf life in all of boxing because they're smart, brains over brawn, right? They can last B-Hop, Floyd, Purnell, like anybody like that, they can last longer in the sport of boxing because they're smart and cerebral, methodical fighters, not relying on one tool, but sharpening all tools, right? Athletic fighters, usually you see decay and they might flourish early in their career, but if they're not technically and fundamentally super sound, but more so relying on being awkward and fast twitch, Roy Jones, Sergio Maravilla Martinez, guys like that, where Wilder, they're athletic as fuck, right? And they're freakishly athletic. Not like Wilder is not known for like jab, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? He's not known for that. He's known for athleticism and power. So he kind of fits in that category. Sergio Martinez, hands low. They're not teaching you that. If you go in boxing, like if you go take a boxing course, they're not going to tell you, hey, put your hands by your waist and bait the person in like Sergio Martinez and Roy Jones and people like that, right? So that's 2. The third or the first, they're the quickest to get worn out because you don't have no defense. You just getting punched on. You don't got no shelf life for real, right? Those are the 3 primary styles where most fighters fit into that category. So for me, the problem with Canelo is when he was younger and I don't know why fighters do this. Robert Guerrero did the same thing. I don't know if it's a Mexican-American thing, but when Robert Guerrero was in lighter weight classes, he would box more. Then when he started getting to welterweight, he started trying to slug it out with everybody. But guys were bigger and stuff like that. It don't really work like that. Canelo did the same thing. Youthful, young Canelo was boxing. He was boxing a lot more. But somewhere, for some reason, attrition, age, boredom, whatever, made too much money, Canelo got lazy in the game, and I've been telling you this. And now his approach is very one-dimensional. Like, not even just the Crawford fight. You can take the Crawford fight out of there. Even in the Bivol fight. Bro, he was just like, poof. He kept trying to bomb on Bivol, like, with heavy shots. Like, I'm not even working. Like, boxing at the elite level, if you fight someone really good, they see that's telegraphed. You know what I mean? They know you can punch, and you just coming out, you trying to just melt them. That don't work in a street fight. That could work against a novice because they don't know how to fight anyway. So you could just go up and do a couple moves and bow and then melt somebody. Canelo been lazy. He been lazy. So that's the reality of it. That's why I don't really have much faith for Canelo, because you can't really wind that clock back. You've already been through the wars. You relied on your chin and fought bigger guys, and you start fighting bigger guys more reckless than when you were younger. Probably because when you start putting on extra weight, it takes more effort and energy to be moving. And you know what I mean? Younger Canelo, he was like moving, like Austin Trout fight or even the Danny Jacobs fight. Canelo also made a grave mistake, and I told y'all from the beginning, the grave mistake that Canelo made is he moved through the divisions too rapidly. He still had work he could do at 160, and then he moved after the Jacobs fight. He moved up and fight Kovalev at 175, and then he was talking about moving to cruiserweight. That's laziness, bro. That's laziness. You don't want to make the sacrifice to cut no more. I'm not saying he's lazy. Like, he work harder than most people. I get it. But I'm saying, like, you don't want to make the extra sacrifice to make 160. But you were better off camping at 160 for a bit longer. But you fought Kovalev and it moved up to 68. You know what I mean? Showing up to the weigh-ins in your pajamas. Canelo, to me, he kind of been done. For real, for real. He been on that, like, on the slide, so to speak. Young Canelo, I think he stopped John Ryder. I think he stopped Munguia. Munguia is not, he's not even, like, the type of fighter to stay away from shots. So a younger Canelo, like the Canelo that fought Golovkin, he's stopping Munguia. You know what I mean? He's stopping John Ryder. So, yeah, I think Bud kind of stamped him. It's looking ugly for Canelo. And the Saudi's still on the hook for 2 more fights with him. He ducked Demetrius Andrade to fight Rocky Fieldhand. Shout out to Kamal. That's what I'm saying. Tank needed a Latino to boost his career. All right, bro. Y'all just be talking, bro. Mexico is the face of boxing. The biggest fighter from Mexico just got cooked. What are you talking about? How is Mexico the face of boxing and the biggest fighter from Mexico just got murked? Whatever. Whatever helps y'all sleep at night, bro. It's funny that you got people that they'll be like, oh, this fighter needs to take the tough fights because after they take the tough fights, they can beat the person and become the man. But then Terence Crawford just beat the man, and then now y'all saying he's still not the man. Somehow Canelo's still the face of boxing. You see what I'm saying? Bro, these dudes be like jaw-jacking. They tell you all the time that this guy need to fight this guy, take whatever raw deal, beat him, and become the man. Crawford did that, and now they saying Canelo's still the man, and he's still the face of boxing. So it don't matter if Canelo get his butt kicked by a smaller man, he's still going to be the face of boxing, even if he looks poor. Come on, bro. Canelo didn't pass the torch to Benavidez. Shout out to he who greets with fire. If Canelo takes the PBC deal, it's over anyway. What does that mean? What PBC deal? What are you talking about? I don't even know what that is. He signed with Turkey for 2 more fights. What are you talking about? PBC deal. Bud Crawford put boxing back on the right track. Diva BS is over. He definitely did that. The hostage situation is over. Bud was SWAT team. Bro, Canelo's like, I'm holding these belts hostage. Don't you move. And then Bud was on the rooftop. Took care of that hostage situation. Bro, Canelo messed up royally. Oh, you saying the old deal. Bro, I like the fact because I don't like to reward bad behavior. I'm glad Canelo did it his way because this is where greed will get you. You have been working with PBC and Al Heyman and you were doing good business. They weren't really like the number one fights I want to see, but that's because you weren't fighting Benavidez. But we were hopefully trying to get there. You know what I mean? Trying to get there. Then we're going to fight Jake Paul. Listen, I don't care what none of y'all say. From a business perspective, that would have been a huge novelty fight. Jake Paul is not as finesse as a Crawford. He don't got that type of ability like a Crawford who's been fighting all his life, right? Canelo, he played it so wrong. You could have fought Jake Paul for a crazy bag on Netflix and probably won, or at least you'd be the favorite to win. Instead, you took the smaller man, a smaller event, and fought against Crawford and got cooked. You got to know your limitations and where you're at in your career and stuff like that. Canelo could have easily said, like, I've done a lot for the sport. I'm going to get me a novelty fight in. Now, Tank got the novelty fight. And I try to tell you, I try to warn you, bro. Okay. Turkey said the Jake Paul Canelo deal, he could not match it in one single fight. He said that. So Canelo was going to make a ton of money with Jake Paul and Netflix, and he bailed to do business with the Saudis and then sign up for a 4-fight deal. Within your second fight, Turkey done got you cooked. Bro, I love it. This is what I've been telling y'all. I love it. There has been no one that has fought with Turkey that had a big profile that has taken like probably more than 3 or 4 fights and not lost with Turkey. No one. Wilder lost his first 2. Bacoli lost after Jared Anderson to Joseph Parker. They're kind of setting Parker up. Just, bro, I'm telling you, this whatever ring in Turkey, whatever they're doing, it's not going to work, bro. You're burning out your people. Like, I don't know how else I could. There's only, okay, let me say it calm. There's only but so many fighters in the sport of boxing. Then there's only but certain amount of fighters that's in boxing with a proper brand, meaning people have seen 4 or 5 fights of this person. You're getting them cooked before it really even gets anywhere. Like Fernando Vargas, he's young. He just took a loss to an unknown person, and I don't even know how many people watched it. When Jake Paul fought Tyson, the co-main, they showed the numbers. They said Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor did great numbers. How come Netflix didn't put out the numbers for Fernando Vargas Jr. and Kalen Walsh? Because the numbers was doo-doo. Because they would have did like Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor and released them numbers if they were brag-worthy numbers. Duh. So, that's what I'm talking about. You'll see. Bacoli got cooked. Parker, if he loses, like, what is Parker? Okay, Parker should be getting a Usyk title shot, but you got him fighting Fabio Wardley on pay-per-view in the UK. One is not a big fight. Hardcore boxing fans might enjoy it, but it's not a big fight. William Zepeda, you put him in with Shakur when he can barely get past Tevin Farmer. Horrible style matchup. So he should have lost 1, if not 2 Tevin Farmer fights. Now he lost his 3rd fight to Shakur. You know what I mean? Like these fighters are getting cooked. You don't have Munguia. He just failed a drug test, got knocked out before that, but that was on Top Rank. And Billy Martinez, that was a draw, so nobody technically lost. I'm telling you, bro, everybody that has done business. Devin, he's suing his baby mama, and you putting him in with Brian Norman. I love the fight. I'm a diehard boxing fan. I understand that's not a big fight worldwide. That's a big fight for us, hardcore boxing fans. That's not like a colossal, the world stops and everybody paying attention type fight. So I'm telling you, you can't. This style of matchmaking, these fighters are going to get cooked, bro. Canelo within 2 fights. He's the cash cow. You're supposed to, I'm not saying protect him, but you're supposed to make the business make sense. Like, if you got him for a 4-fight deal, his 4th fight would be David Benavidez. Put him, like, I'll give Canelo William Skull, Canelo whoever, not Crawford, and then Canelo, put him on versus somebody, good fight, like a good fight, and then put David Benavidez as a co-main, and then your 4th fight, Canelo, David Benavidez for all the marbles. You putting them in the blender, and they losing to, like, unknown commodities or, like, worse situations. I promise you. There's nobody that's worked with Turkey that don't have a loss damn near, except for Usyk. In a way, only did 1 fight, I think, with Turkey, so I can't really count that. Bro, you can't matchmake like this, bro. But Crawford only got 2 Turkey fights. No, Madrimov, and I'm saying somebody that got like 4 fights with Turkey, 3-4 fights, that don't got no loss. Usyk's probably the only one. And I don't know how many fights. Because 2 Tyson Fury fights, and he probably fought Dubois might have been the Turkey card. I don't know. I'm telling you, look it up. Look it up. Everybody got cooked. Jared Big Baby Anderson, Bacoli, who else? Joshua got knocked out. And I'm not talking about losses. All losses, I'm talking about like bad losses that set your career back. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about like a Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman type loss, where it's like, all right, he lost, but he held a good account. I'm talking about people get Crawford cooked Canelo as a smaller man. That's a bad loss. It wouldn't have been that bad if you lost to David Benavidez, because we knew there's a chance he's too strong, he could stop you. Crawford wasn't supposed to be able to do what he did. Yeah, shout out to my boy from Bompton. Shout out to Prince Savage. Berlanga, that's what I'm saying. So Berlanga already lost to Canelo on PBC, but then he got destroyed crazy by Hamza Shiraz. Like crazy. To the point where he said the gloves with the wraps, he put the wraps in the gefilte fish. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like law. You're like, people are getting destroyed. Tevin Farmer got like destroyed by Floyd Schofield in 1 round. I'm talking about, we never seen, like, oh my God, bro. I run boxing. Kamal Oz, Canelo, final 2 fights, Smush Parker and Lil Nas X. Facts. Mark what I'm saying. I'm talking about horrific losses, bro. Like, in what world do you think you could put Tevin Farmer in 2 fights with a crazy volume guy back to back in a matter of months and then put him in with Floyd Schofield? Bro, do you understand? Like, for real, it's not my opinion. On paper, he lost 2 times to Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer lost 2 times to Zepeda on paper, right? So he's 0-2, and then you put him for his 3rd fight in with an up-and-coming, muscular, knockout, explosive Floyd Schofield. Now he 0-3. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you got people's careers to the point where it's like they're in no man's land. Wilder was 0-2 on Turkey's watch, and he just got a win on BOK Prime. But I'm talking about Turkey ring Riyadh season cards. He's 0-2. Tevin Farmer's 0-3. Canelo's 1-1. And it's a bad one. The loss is bad. Like, the one win, William Skull, was trash. People thought you lost that fight. So really, Canelo almost could be 0-2. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you look at Canelo versus Skull, there are some people that really believe that Skull beat him. So, in the minds of many people, Canelo's 1-1 or 0-2 with Turkey. Pollo lost to Subrio. Turkey sent his back to PBC. I want to see Wilder go out on a high note, real warrior. Yeah, he's definitely a warrior. I'm just saying this style of matchmaking is not, it can't work. It's not going to work. You'll see it. Like, Shakur, you just put, it's like, I don't know if they betting on these fighters and they're like trying to burn them out, but that's what's happening. Like, you're putting Shakur in there with Zepeda, which he got knocked into the ropes by a jab, right? Right? So he was in a tough fight, hurt his hands, and now he's fighting Teofimo at 140 where he hasn't even fought yet. So that, like, to be honest, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough to keep going, like, back-to-back tough fights. Devin Haney, his first fight back, you gave him like a fight he should win, Jose Ramirez at a catchweight. But then immediately you're putting him in with Brian Norman. Like, to be on, I'm being 100% honest. I don't know that Devin Haney is back from the Ryan Garcia. Like, how do you know he shook off the cobwebs in that Ramirez only fight? He only has one fight since Devin fought Ryan. So you're putting him in with Brian Norman, which on paper, that's a hard fight. That's a hard fight, man. And you're putting him in, and here's what the other angle of what I'm saying. You're doing all this for what? Like, these aren't legendary, like, events. Like, for example, Jake Paul and Tank, everybody involved is going to make a lot of money. I don't care if you like the fight. I don't care if it's a circuit. I don't care. It will make everybody involved a lot of money. Brian Norman and Devin Haney in Saudi at 2 p.m., I don't know. I doubt that's making you a lot of money. So it's like, what is the goal? What is your goal here? Even like, for me, it just don't make sense. Let's say Canelo Crawford. You should have not made him fight now. Let Bud fight at 160, 168, and then fight Canelo. You know what I mean? So you it's like, if you're moving bricks, I'm showing you how the game works, bro. If you're moving bricks, that's why they step on it. That's why they stretch it with baking soda. If you're giving people like pure, uncut, right? It's more, you feel it's more potent, but you're going to run out quicker and you're going to make less money. You're not stretching what you have and working with it. You just like, Canelo Crawford on Netflix. All right, cool. Now it's over. It happened. It didn't pass Jake Paul, Mike Tyson numbers. So from a Netflix perspective, the numbers went down. You did all that. Bud set history. It was a great performance. But then now what? Now Bud, who's he really fight? Does he retire? Does Canelo? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, what's the end game here? What's like the end result if all the fighters are cooked and bashed up with losses, and you don't really have a star or a star-making event? Crawford Madrimov, was that like a huge event? No. So I don't really understand the play, to be honest. I don't see how, like, what are you building towards? Like, for example, Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. I personally love the fight because I'm a boxing head. That's not a fight my friends that don't know boxing like that, but watch the big fights, no one has hit me up asking about that fight. You see what I'm saying? No one, not one person. So it's like you're putting Devin in a super tough fight. What does he really get? Okay, he'll be a WBO champion. I don't think the risk really equals the reward there. So in my opinion, it's a good fight for boxing fans. You'd be better off work with Brian Norman for a fight or two, at least one fight, but preferably more. Then you make Devin and Brian Norman. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm complaining that we're getting a fight. It's not that. I'm just saying there has to be, it's almost like a crescendo. Haney suing more than Gloria Allred and Jin Sushi. Big facts. There's no, it's like taking a million shots in the dark without aiming. That's what it looked like to me. You're just shooting. You might hit the target, but I'm a marksman. I'd rather hit the target and know what I'm shooting at. You know what I mean? So I don't really understand the aim. Like, if David Benavidez beats Anthony Yard, then what? Anthony Yard would probably be kind of done for. You can't beat Lyndon Arthur. Better be have knocked you out. If Benavidez get with you, then it's like kind of over. You put, if I'm not mistaken, Dillian White in there with Moses Atuma. Bro, one round, Dillian White kind of cooked. Like, it's like people just getting cooked with no rhyme or reason to it. That's what I'm trying to get at. There don't seem to be no rhyme or reason. Like, we're doing a Super 6 tournament to solidify who's the best here. We're doing a World Boxing Super Series, so at the end, Usyk got his hand raised. Inoue got his hand raised. You know what I mean? It's like you're just doing a million little fights that don't really not amount into nothing. That's what I see. So I don't know what they're doing, but whatever. Canelo fights lined up with Jamal and David Benavidez. PBC was going to pay him $100 million plus for this fight. He turned it down because he's scared of Benavidez. Canelo messed up royally, bro, because the world of boxing would have at least understood if Benavidez cooked you. You losing to a person moving up 3 weight classes, that's insufferable. That's inexcusable. You have no excuse for that. You just got cooked, bro. Anyway, I'm out. I'm going to holler at y'all.